who is the managing partner, super, super smart, African-American entrepreneur and leader in the space, is making waves.
That's awesome. And like, let's talk about like the scene in Atlanta, man. For you, you know, you've built a incredible resume, and you're advising many people within the space, and being the director of Shotcall for the Atlanta scene. Like, what do you see in the future as far as esports? I know you have a professional esports team there, and you know you're growing in rapid numbers. Tell us about the scene and where you think it's going.
Yeah, man, you know, Atlanta's been such a great city, and, you know, I've come from Chicago and Atlanta, and so, like, Atlanta is the reason why, like, you know, I met Thomas over at Shotcall, the CEO. I met Thomas at a networking conference in Atlanta. Super, super, super smart guy. In Atlanta as a scene, you see we got to help create the Atlanta Esports Alliance. So every company down in Atlanta starting to come together and realize, hey, we want esports and gaming to truly be a thriving ecosystem here, right? So Andrew from the Georgia Game Developers Association is getting involved. They're giving away scholarships to kids trying to get into the space, or, you know, shoutcasting and so forth. Like, they're all a very supportive ecosystem, and I think what it's going to turn into, not just in Atlanta, but everywhere, is these cities like Pittsburgh and Detroit and so forth, and, you know, Louisiana are all going to start getting their local governments to really get involved with them and really build out where every company comes up and steps together and says, hey, we want esports in our ecosystem, we want gaming in our ecosystem. How do we do that?
And I'm all about ecosystem. Like I said before, I'm at a high school on Southern University's campus in Baton Rouge. It's actually the laboratory of the campus. And I'm big on like creating that ecosystem where we're building it slowly but surely. For somebody that's trying to start a program, whether it be high school, collegiate, or professional, what would be some of the talking points or bullet points that you would give them to approach a government, to get them on watch, to get them to notice? Because for me, it's been more of an educational piece for our government and local leaders. What's the next steps after you educate them on gaming and esports?
You know, and that's something I've been working on. It's getting everyone in the same room and saying, hey, look, can we actually agree to work together and put everything aside and as a city come together to make something happen, right? And it takes time, right? Atlanta met for years to now get to where it's at. Right, every 3 months we all met together to say, hey, what's going on? What's the blockers? What's the pain points? What's the goods? What's the bad? Let's make it happen, right? I think after you educate your local leadership, it's actually about, okay, they may see the numbers, they may see the things. What sold our local leadership, which helped us, was the live physical events at the time. Sold our leadership was the money being brought in from Overwatch, the money being invested into Overwatch League by Cox, right? Like a lot of those guys were already on the up and up before all this, so that it helped educate them a bit more.
And you made some valid points within that statement. So can we talk about a little bit about like building that community? I know you've worked ecosystems and structures and branding before. Can we kind of expand upon that as far as like building those LAN events and getting those right partners in place to kind of switch the narrative so you can get more community buy-in?
I had to learn to tap into my local network, and what happens is, luckily, you know, we have people like at Access Replay and at RIISE, who's also an investor in Access. We tapped into our local network to build out that messaging, right, and showed up at other previous local events. Because there's events everywhere, right? There's always, you know, for us it was Gwinnett Brawl. It was, you know, the dojo going on. There's local groups there. People tend to know each other. Or at some point, you know, Facebook is a great thing for events. People will show up, right? You make those posts, you make that messaging happen. You might not get immediate results, but in the long term, when you build out those relationships, everyone starts showing up to your events. And then for us, like, we started slowly packing out the space now, getting a couple hundred people every event.
That's crazy, man. A couple hundred people at every event within the space, man. You know, I'm all about, reach one, teach one. So if you got 100 people coming to events, man, I can imagine the reach within, maybe a 12-month process, man. You'd probably be close to 1,000. So that's awesome work, man. So, just tell us, man, briefly, we have a few minutes in the show. What do you have coming up next as far as, the eSports scene, gaming scene? Tell us some stuff that you might have been working on that you want to discuss that we had.
Yeah, we've got Paper Crowns, which is the creative and media agency. They're crushing it. And the main thing is Shotcall, man. Shotcall is working with the Seattle Sounders. They're working with a couple major influencers and other sports teams to offer the opportunity to play with those sports and gaming icons. That's the main thing. My drive is there, right? Besides the advisory, my drive is on Shotcall.
Shotcall, yeah. And, tell the listening audience how, I think it's shotcall.gg, right?
Yep, SHOTCALL.GG.
What plans or events does Shotcall have coming up that you would want to discuss?
They're going to be activating again with the Seattle Sounders players, with Jordan Morris, Stephen Frey, and those guys are now actually actively creating sessions to play with their fans. We have a couple other soccer athletes that are coming in from Nashville's team and so forth. They're going to be joining on to play with their fans. And then we have a bunch of pro players. So the eSports team, Omen Elite, is joining on board, and a couple more announcements we'll be making up in the next coming week or two.
And it must be like productive time for you guys, man, and due to the COVID-19 pandemic, it's sad, man, but everybody's at home. I feel like it's a perfect opportunity to get Shotcall out there, man, and actually get everybody involved, man. So I know it's probably, good times for you guys, I would imagine.
Oh, look, it sucks that I had to cancel all my travel to events, but I will admit, COVID-19 had its good and its bad, right? And look, yeah. I'm not going to lie. If we've learned one thing from this, and I think everyone has figured it out, everyone's a gamer. That's what Shotcall's about, is empowering that, messaging. Everyone's a gamer.
That's amazing, man. I really thank you for coming on the show. I know we had been missing each other for quite a bit. I know you're busy. Just thank you for your time, Shark, man, and I wish you the best with Shotcall. And I wish you the best with all your other endeavors. And could you tell the listening audience how to get in contact with you via social media? I know you're going to plug that Twitter and that LinkedIn.
Yeah, man. My Twitter is SHAHPANJ, or literally you can find me on LinkedIn or email. My email is shark@shotcall.gg.
That's awesome, man. Thank you for your time, Shark, man. You're welcome back anytime if you wanted to talk about Shotcall or whatever you want to talk about, man. And just thank you for blessing the show.
All right. Thanks so much, brother.
All right, now.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
This was another episode of Go Play Esports with Christopher Turner. Follow him on Twitter @Turner_CP.